back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a powerful technique that can help you manifest a specific person by rewriting your past. Yes, using the concept of revision. Now I know this might sound a bit mysterious, but stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll see how this simple tool can help you rewrite the past and create the future desire. Now I'll be doing a more in-depth video on revision in the future, where I'll explain it fully. But today's focus is on how you can use revision specifically to improve or change your relationship with a specific person. So what exactly is revision? Simply put, revision is the practice of mentally going back to a past event and changing it in your mind. It's like editing a movie, let's say, except the movie is your life. For example, let's say you had an argument with your SP, or there was a moment that left you feeling hurt or ignored. With revision, you will play the scene in your mind. But this time, you change what happened. So instead of the argument, you imagine a peaceful, loving conversation. And instead of being ignored, you imagine being given all the attention you deserve. This might sound like you're just daydreaming, but there's a lot more to it. By revising these moments, you're not just imagining a better past. You're actually shifting your state of being and, believe it or not, your future. The key here is to understand that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real event and an imagined one. So by changing the past in your mind, you're actually changing how your mind and, by extension, your reality responds to the event. Now you might be wondering, why bother with revision? Why not just focus on manifesting a better future and leave the past behind? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes our past experiences create blocks or resistance that make it harder to manifest what we want in the present. If you've had a rocky relationship with your SP, maybe there was cheating involved or they ignored you. It can be tough to fully believe in a positive future together. Those memories keep dragging you back to a place of doubt and fear. This is where vision comes in. By revising those painful or disappointing memories, you're essentially giving yourself a clean slate. You're releasing the emotional charge connected to those events, which in turn helps to dissolve the resistance you feel in the present. It's like getting a fresh start without all the baggage. Personally, I found this super helpful when dealing with situations where I felt ignored or disrespected. Instead of trying to push through those feelings, I go back and rewrite the narrative. And let me tell you, it makes a world of a difference in how things felt afterward. I remember one time I sent a message to someone and instantly regretted it. I felt this way of anxiety, like, why did I do that? But instead of overthinking it too long, I used revision. I imagined that I never sent the message or that it was received in a totally different way. And the next day, when I checked with the person, they didn't even remember getting it. And it's not even the first time, it happens so many times already. Alright, let's get into the how-to part of this. So let's dive into how you can use visualization to revise a situation with your SP. Now, revision can be done in a few different ways, through visualization, affirmations, or scripting. The method you choose depends on what feels most natural to you. Imagine this. Yesterday you had a conversation with your SP and it didn't go well. Maybe they said something hurtful or perhaps they ignored your messages altogether. You're feeling sad, anxious, and maybe even doubting your self-worth. Now, instead of sitting in the negative state, let's revise it. Close your eyes and imagine that moment again. But this time, see it differently. Instead of your SP ignoring you or saying something hurtful, imagine them smiling at you warmly. Picture them saying something loving or supportive, whatever you wish had happened instead. As you visualize this, feel the emotions that come with this new version of events. Feel the relief, the happiness, the love. The key here is to immerse yourself in this new scenario as if it's happening right now. The more vivid and real you can make it, the more effective the revision will be. Now, if visualizing isn't your thing, don't worry. Affirmations are another powerful way to revise the situation. Let's take that same scenario. You sent a message to your SP, but they didn't respond, right? And now you're feeling ignored. Now, instead of dwelling on that feeling of being ignored, start repeating an affirmation that revises the situation. So for example, you can say, my SP always responds to me every day of the week. And my SP definitely does look at his phone all the time just to see if I texted him yet. So, repeat your affirmations whenever thoughts of that ignored message pops up in your head. The goal is to override the negative experience with this new positive belief. As you do this, notice how your emotions start to shift. You might even begin to feel more confident and relaxed. Finally, let's talk about scripting. This is a great method if you prefer writing things down. Using the same example, you perhaps feel disrespected or ignored, and instead of dwelling on those feelings, grab a journal or a piece of paper and start rewriting the event as you wish it had happened. Write down the event in detail, but this time twist the story. Maybe you write, "Today, my SP sent me the sweetest message. They were so attentive and caring, and we had an amazing conversation." Really get into it. Describe how they looked at you with love in their eyes, how their words made you feel appreciated and valued. Write it as if it's happening right now, not in the past. The act of writing helps solidify this new version of events in your mind and in your reality. Remember, no matter which method you choose, visualization, affirmation, or scripting, the key is to feel the emotions of the revised event and to let go of the attachment to the old story. By doing this, you're not just wishing things were different, you're actively shifting your reality, and trust me, it works. So what do you do when you're done the revision, but it feels like nothing's changed? Well, first off, don't panic. Sometimes the changes are subtle and happen over time. But if you find yourself obsessing over why things haven't shifted yet, that's a sign you might be too attached to the outcome. And I've been there too, where you want to see results so badly that you end up clinging to the outcome. It just creates more resistance. The key is to release the attachment. One technique I already talked about in my previous video and I love is "I want it but I don't need it" mindset. It helps you to stay grounded and relaxed, knowing that what you want is on its way but you're not desperate for it. Another thing that works for me is putting on some music that inspires me, then visualizing my end scene. This helps to shift my state and brings me back to the place of trust and calm. To wrap this up, revision is an incredible tool that can help you clear out the emotional clutter and start fresh with your specific person. And whether you're dealing with past arguments, feelings of being ignored, or even bigger issues like infidelity, revision gives you the power to rewrite the narrative. Remember though, let go of attachment to the old story and trust that the new story will take hold. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on manifesting and the love assumption. Let me know in the comments if you've tried revision before and how it worked for you. And if you want a deeper dive into the mechanics of revision, stay tuned. I've got more content coming your way. Thanks for watching. Bye!